So here's me at 22, 23 in the Irish Naval Service at my heaviest a couple of weeks ago, and you can watch as we go along. But this has been me through my seasons of weight loss, and since I've lost weight, I haven't gained any weight. Not to the extent that I was, but I just wanted to open up this video with the pictures of where I was and where I am, so it gives a little bit of visual to the vocals. Hope you enjoy this video. Thank you.
Hello again, Oisin from Flow-StateAlchemy. Thank you for joining me if you're joining along on this video. Bit of a change of scenery. I felt the wind was been an issue in most of my videos. So I decided to bring you to the view of my bedroom, out the window. Quite beautiful, I must say. Yeah, I've been, today is day 4 of posting at least one long video and at least one short, and I've been consistent. Yesterday was about consistency, but today it was a struggle to get in front of the camera, to be honest. I don't know if it's the topic that I'm picking. I think it's a bit to do with the topic that I'm picking today, and a bit just on a low day, not every day is we have them ebbs and flows through life, and it's, for me it's been about learning how to be okay, not in the okay, and knowing that this too shall pass. But today's topic is about, I mentioned it before, weight and losing weight. I just wanted to speak about that journey, and maybe in the videos throw up some pictures from past versions of me. I just showed a friend a picture of me from 32 now, back when I was 23 in the Irish Naval Service, and I think the only thing that was the telltale that it was actually me was these little small ears that I have. I wanted to talk about that because I was heavy from a young age. I lost a bit of weight when I was big into rugby and playing a lot, but I tore the cartilage and cruciate in my knee, my left knee. So I ended up between 2 operations, not training for 18 months, and made my way up to, I want to try and mention both, two weights. If I can remember them correctly, I could be wrong. But yeah, I was all the way up to about 17 and a half stone. I was around 19. So I reckon that's about, don't quote me, it's definitely over 100 kgs up to maybe 108 kgs, I think. The figures don't really matter, but I was heavy. And joined the Navy and lost weight and gained a lot of muscle in the 6 months training. You had to. The amount of exercise and just non-stop going, it's easily could do on a day 200 press-ups just for punishment, Never mind all the running you might do that day and the marching and all the other punishments in between. But yeah, and then I went, even in the Navy, I got to my heaviest, 118 kg, which is, it's well over the 17 stone mark, and felt horrendous in myself, body-wise. Hated how I looked. Exes at the time, and my ex at the time didn't, obviously, I wasn't that size when we got together, and I took it as a hurtful thing, her trying to say it to me, when really she was just, now I see, just trying to care for my general health, not about how I looked. And partly maybe because of how I looked, I didn't like myself, so why should have I expected her to love me if I couldn't love me? And it was all down to definitely an eating disorder, It's only in this last year and a half that I've openly allowed that concept into my awareness that I had an eating disorder. I didn't have to be diagnosed. I couldn't control the volume of food I ate. It wasn't that I ate predominantly bad food or unhealthy. I just ate and didn't stop. Sorry, dog barking. But yeah, I just couldn't stop eating till the food was gone. And I ate other people's food, and it's just, yeah, I tried so many times, with friends of that era, we'd say between, 20, 23, 22 to 24, where it became, I knew it was an issue and I wanted to lose weight. And just never end cycle of being on it for 6 weeks or off it, and then I'm off for 3 months, and that was how it rolled. And I thought the big change came when I smoked DMT, and it changed my mindset, which it did, I will say. But also in that very same time period, I had the people around me that wanted to eat healthy as well. That didn't want to drink, that wanted to eat good food and eat. At that time, this was the beginning of a journey of nutrition that I didn't even know I was beginning. So yeah, I lost nearly up to 25 kgs in 3 months. It's like nearly, 25 kgs. And then I couldn't lose any more, I wouldn't drop. And I literally made that transition from just cutting out all sugar, cutting out all sweet foods, all processed foods, and just kind of ate more of a standard Irish diet, which would have been a good breakfast, porridge, maybe Weetabix, some fruit, a good lunch, which, varied, and then I had a good dinner and a snack. And I got to that, like, a point where I wasn't losing much weight, and I found ketosis. I found the ketogenic diet, which I ended up doing for another year and a half after this, but I lost another 20, 25 kg. So I went from being about 100 and, I think it's 108 kgs. As I said, figures are not holding tight. This is a long time ago. This is like 6 years ago, 7 years ago. It was 2019 when I first started losing weight. And yeah, I was down to 67 kg at my lowest, which was definitely too low. I just became addicted to the keto diet. Not addicted to it, but I held on to it so tightly. That was a lot of what happened with diets then after I made that transition and transformed my body from this overweight being that hated how he looked to looking super fit. And I didn't train once. I just stayed working as a mechanic. I literally just changed my diet. And the thing that I didn't change was the volume of food I had eaten. Apart from when I fasted, I could fast really well. It was something I was very good at, was pushing extremes, either fully on or fully off, fully in or fully out, and never truly finding balance. So yeah, I've done keto for a year and a half, and then I started veggie. Little fly's name here, sorry. Oh, piss off. Go and know somebody else. I'm telling you, boy. But yeah, so I started veggie for health reasons, and then got into, we're unaware of the food system. That's how a lot of where we're at with nutrition is. We're so unaware. We're lied to so much. We've been conditioned into what's healthy, what's unhealthy. They've shifted and changed the ballpark and the figures over this last 50 years. And the one thing just to take a side note, the one thing I figured out through all my different dietary endeavors and it's listening to your fucking own body. Fuck what anybody else fucking says about what's good for you and bad for you. If you truly clear away the noise from inside and listen to what your body says. Well, that's taken me a long time to get to. It's taken a journey of trying different diets, becoming vegan because I've seen how fucked up the meat industry is, and I couldn't be a part of it. I love animals. And I became this preachy vegan. Held on to it, clutched to it, and believed in it. And yeah, there's a lot of truth in the veganism movement, but the whole world can't be vegan. We need to make a completely different transition of just how we treat the earth, how we treat animals, how we treat ourselves first. And at 10 you fly. It's nice to have you around. Once you're a little bit at 9, just let you know. I feel that's what we do as humans. We attach to a belief because we find truth in it. We find something that gives us inspiration and courage to go at a goal, to change parts of ourselves. And it's if you know you don't need to defend, if you believe, you're gonna have to defend it because you don't know it. You're just believing in it. So yeah, I went through that, and then I went back to eating meat, not as much as I ever did before. I was lucky I had somebody that could provide some wild caught meat, which was really good. So yeah, the journey of nutrition brought me on like understanding what food means, and we're really in a world where even vegetables aren't healthy anymore because they're sprayed in shit. They're sprayed in glyphosate, Roundup, weed killer, over and over again, and there's so much things I think people don't talk about this hard. Like, we get caught up on drugs in the world, when realistically the worst drug in the world right now is food. It's the biggest killer. Food and stress are the biggest killers in the world to humans right now, and especially in the modernized societies where we have free will, we have freedom to some degree, but we really have to make a conscious effort to find the organic food, to find the whole foods, local markets, making that effort to actually connect with people that are connected to the earth and trying to make a difference by not fucking stripping of our nutrients. So yeah, it was but going back to myself, it's here in Sri Lanka where, I had this health craze addiction for a long time, and through it was amazing. I've learned so much about nutrition. I know so much about food and so much about my own body because of it. But it's all about the balance, and a big part of it was letting go of shame and guilt when I couldn't hold the strength of consistency, because we live in a world of temptation. It's right there at our fingertips. It's right there. And as I said, when you're around people that are on the same wavelength, want to eat the same way, or want to at least be moving towards living in a way that's beneficial for their mind, body, and soul, it becomes a lot easier. You're on a solo journey of nutrition and health and wellness. It's hard, right? A lone wolf is not an easy journey when you're trying to reach goals and success. Community is where you need to be at when you really want to reach some goals. Having accountability partners, having people to buzz off and support you, and people you can lean in on them low days, because there's no such thing as life without a low day. Without them lows, when would you know what a high day is, or what a good day is, or what an uplifting day is? So yeah, I think the biggest one here was tending to the overeating. I spent a long time in this last 5 years eating a lot of healthy food. I never truly, and this is something I'm still working on. I'm something still the inner child work on the overeating. I could have had so much healthy food. I never gained any weight. I was just eating healthy food. Turns out you can eat as much healthy food as you want, lads, and you're not going to gain weight. But it still doesn't change the fact that there's a shame and guilt aspect in you, feeling empty inside when you can't stop yourself from eating. You overeat to the point where you're like, it just does not feel good, whether it's healthy or not. This doesn't feel good. I don't have self-control. I don't have the capability to say, I don't need to eat that. It's okay. I can, tomorrow. And that's where fasting for me has been a big one. It's not just about like the physical aspect. It's a mental. It helps me work the muscle of discipline in a self-love way, because I know when I'm fasting, I'm clearing, I'm letting go of stuff out of my body. I can feel it, and I get to listen to my body closer, and the cravings that come up and ask myself, why are they my cravings I have? And a lot of it is tied to coping mechanisms, the old way of soothing, as that child, that teenager, through the chaos of life, and there's we're not here to blame, we're here to take responsibility, As soon as you keep blaming the person for the way you are, you're never going to change. You have to take responsibility for the person you are. That's where change comes through. That's when change and transformation can truly happen, is when you're like, I am who I am, and I am the one that chooses who I am, no one else. And in that, you can become whoever you truly are. But yeah, I wanted to put this up to just share my journey of food in this fucked up world we live in, where there's nothing straight anymore, nothing's easy to attend to or attain. Healthy food is so, the concept of healthy food, what is healthy food? So fucking vast. So many different diets, so many different fads. All I can say is listen to your body. If you really are struggling with food and the feeling of how you feel physically, that's the time to become more self-aware and start asking. Get a food diary. Every time you eat, write down what you eat. After you've eaten it, write down how you felt. Even write down how you felt when you were cooking it, what you were thinking about, your cravings. Put it all on paper. If that's how you like. If you're someone like me that doesn't like fucking writing, it might take a bit of time. And now you have AI. Start recording. Record your relationship with food, because your relationship with food will show you the relationship of yourself within. And that was the next step for me. Is like, this last year, I really sat with that child that could not stop eating to self-soothe that pain, and just held him, being that father that I never, unfortunately, my father couldn't be, not because he's a bad person, because he just didn't have the capability. So I chose to be the father and the mother that I need. Sat and said, little Ush, man, whatever you're feeling, feel it, man, I got you. I'm here for you, bro. I'm here. You just feel it. And inner child work can be confusing because you're dealing with the intellect of a 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old that doesn't have the vocal capacity that you do at this age. That what they're feeling and experiencing is confusing because they were confused. They were a child. And that is in the subconscious of us. And it takes not to have the intellectual awareness. It takes to have the feelings and allow the feelings to come up, be felt, and release. And we talk about affirmations. Affirmations, yeah, it's easy to sit here and do an affirmation when you feel good. But the true power of an affirmation is when you're in the depths of your shadow, and then bad thoughts are there, and then bad feelings are there. Whatever that negativity is there, to actually sit and go, I let this go, and run that mantra through your head. That's real consistency. That's devotion to your growth. That's devotion to yourself. So this journey of eating healthy and becoming healthy is more than just that. It's also eating in communion, eating with people, nourishing each other, cooking food for each other. I used to love cooking, always did, still do. It's one of my favorite things. And not to toot my own horn, I cook really amazing food. I know I do. Probably should start more videos, which I will. I would love to do more videos. I cook in a very, very unusual way. I've gone through so many seasons of life of cooking different food, and I used to cook the best of unhealthy food, the best of burgers, the best of all the unhealthy, which I still indulge in now today. I just have balance with it, This is the thing about the coping mechanisms. They were there to soothe the pain, but they were always there as well to celebrate the wins. So even when you're in your lows, that's the cope. And when you're in your highs, that's to celebrate, and it was a profound realization for me to see that. Like, why am I craving that now? I feel good. Why do I want that now? I'm in a good place. knowing that was my soothing mechanism. Oh, wait, that's how I fucking celebrated, and you can be kind to yourself and enjoy that celebration and enjoy that time, whether it's food or substance or whatever it is, actually served a fucking valid person, a valid, fuck, I'm after losing the word here, had a valid necessity in your life because it soothed a pain. It also helped you celebrate, So it's not right or wrong. It's about balance. It's about intuitive eating, listening to your body, not what someone else tells you should do or what some guru says is the good idea or some nutritionist. Yeah, take in that information, take it on board and go, well, how does that fit my body? How does that sit with me? Is that my truth or is that someone else's truth? Test it out. Try it. I've tried all the diets. I've tried fucking everything. And, oh yeah, I found that is to be true and that is not true to me. And that's perfect. And that's how it is. So yeah, I hope people appreciate this vulnerability of sitting here, and this is not easy to. I don't know. Doing stuff in the camera is a lot harder than actually just speaking in person. I've gotten good at being as vulnerable as I can in person, and now I'm working that muscle of vulnerability with the camera. And I want to thank anyone that took the time to listen to this, and I appreciate it. And if this resonates, reach out. Let's have a chat. Drop me a comment. Subscribe. I will be putting videos of me doing food. It's just, videos are time consuming. Doing this is time consuming, and I'm trying to do a lot at the moment. I'm working on opening up my own business, trying to set up a group business, and looking at setting up an NGO here in Sri Lanka, and I'm trying to balance it all. And it's wonderful. It's beautiful. But you know what? Good things take time. In Sinhalese, we say hemming, slowly, slowly. Sinhalese is the local language here in Sri Lanka, Sinhala. So, yeah, thank you. Much gratitude, much love. Oshin from Flow-StateAlchemy.